So good morning students, how are you? So today we are again here with the topic pharmacognosy and extraction. In the previous lecture we have discussed about our history of the plant. So let us start with the pharmacognosy and extraction, as the pharmacognosy is the integral part of the pharmacy and most important subject of the pharmacy curriculum, and extraction is the integral process we extensively perform in this particular subject of the pharmacognosy. So let us start with this pharmacognosy. First of all, pharmacy, let us understand what is the pharmacy. Pharmacy is a art and science of understanding and of your collection, your selection, your compounding and dispensing of the drugs. So it is, although the definition is very simple, but here we require highly skilled and expert in this particular process. So in pharmacy there are four major subjects. I am just bifurcating into simple four major subjects, although it is based upon the different and elaborated subjects, but majorly we extensively study only four major subjects here. Now first is pharmaceutics. Now second is your pharmacology. Number third is pharmacognosy, and number fourth is pharmacochemistry. So number first, pharmaceutics. This particular branch, this particular division of a pharmacy is based upon the art and science of formulating and developing different dosage form like tablets, capsules and syrups. Number second is pharmacology. When a drug is developed, it is in finished form, we usually which is intended for the human intake. Then when we intake this particular drug inside the human body, what this drug does to the human body and what the human body does to this drug, though there are two different things. Okay, so drug is acting inside the body, whereas body reacting to the drug. So these all things we include in this particular subject, which is pharmacology. Drug, here we are talking about the drug, so let us discuss about the drug. The smallest active entity which is intended for the diagnostic, for the prevention and for the cure purpose, for the human being as well as for the animal. So this is all about the pharmacology. So this is also an extensive and most integral part of the pharmacy. Number next is pharmacognosy. It is based upon the crude drugs obtained from the natural sources. Okay, here we are talking about the natural sources. There will be three natural sources, which are plant, animals and minerals. So we are talking about the crude drug. Here we deals only with the crude drug. We are just collecting them in the raw form, in the primary form, unprocessed form is known as crude drug. So the sources will be the natural. Okay, although we are also dealing with the synthetic your items, but we extensively just focus on the natural system to derive them for the finished product of your human intake. So now fourth is pharmacochemistry, which is also a very important subject in the pharmacy curriculum. It deals with the chemical structure, elucidation, identification, validation and confirmation of chemical structure of any compound. So this is all about the four major parts of the pharmacy. Now, pharmacognosy. I am taking this particular subject of pharmacognosy here. Pharmacognosy is the term which was coined by Siedler. A German scientist was Siedler in 1815, in particular work of Anna Lactica Pharmacognostica. This particular work he has been performed in 1815, and from here we have derived this particular term pharmacognosy. So as such, this term pharmacognosy is consisting of two Greek words, which is pharmakon and second one is gignosko. Pharmakon means drug, simply drug, and gignosko means to acquire the knowledge. So simply to acquire the knowledge of the drug is pharmacognosy. So, in a systematic way, when we define the pharmacognosy, pharmacognosy is the branch of bioscience which deals with the medicinal and related products in the raw form, in primary form, which we derive from the three natural sources, which are plant, animals and minerals. Okay. In short form, we can also define this particular pharmacognosy. In short, it is an objective study of crude drugs only. Okay, objective study of crude drugs. So, crude drug already we have discussed here, which is raw material, untreated or unprocessed form. Okay, so when we talk about the elaborated, so this is the simple term of pharmacognosy. This is the simple definition of pharmacognosy. When we elaborate this particular pharmacognosy, we include, it encompasses different aspects like history of the drug. If any history is there, we can also include this history. We can discuss, we can find out the major aspects from the history. After that, distribution, geographical distribution is here, means habitat, where this particular drug has been formed, from where we have collected this, from where it is exported, or for where we deal with. So here is the distribution. After that, collection and cultivation. The art of the cultivation and collection is very important in this particular subject, pharmacognosy, and we extensively perform this particular cultivation and collection process while we develop any drug, while we cultivate any drug. After that, processing for the market in finished form. Which type of finished product is required by the market is also a part of this particular pharmacognosy. So we also deal with this. Storage conditions which are ideal for the storage of this particular crude drugs. And after that, morphological, physical, chemical, structural characters which is helpful for the identification of that drug is also included in this particular subject. Uses. We always hear about the uses of drugs like tulsi, it is antimicrobial and all. So these particular uses are very important, on the basis of which like if we have ethnomedicinal knowledge and we know the uses of your history, then we can elaborate that particular drug for the extensive study of scientific outcomes, and we also find out the particular uses of that drug. Extraction is also an integral part of this particular subject, pharmacognosy. Separation, technique of separation which are used for the separation of active constituent, active chemical constituent. Here we also deal with this. Detection, different instrumental detection techniques are also very important here, and we have also included these particular detection techniques in these particular subjects. After that, I am taking this particular topic extraction because extensively it is performed by the pharmacognosist as well as the practitioner which is involved in this particular pharmacy profession. Extraction simply the separation of medicinally active constituent, active, it should be active, okay, active portion of the plant or animal tissue from the inactive or inert material, okay, inert, which is not soluble, which is not in use, which have no any medicinal use in the pharmacy. In simple words, we can also say the isolation of the soluble material from the insoluble material. It is a simple way to define this particular extraction process. In this process, the liquid system we used is known as menstruum, while the residue after this process, extraction process, it is remain undissolved, it is known as marc, okay, menstruum and marc here. Then if somebody asking us what is the extract, the extract is the preparation contain all active constituents after the process of the extraction. So this is the extraction, okay. Marc is solid residue obtained after the extraction and menstruum is the solvent we use for the purpose of our extraction. So if we deeply see inside the extraction process, there are some mechanisms, there are some aspects which are under consideration, which are very important. So let us see the function of the solvent system. It is very important, okay. So here based upon the nature of the chemicals present inside the crude drug as well as the solvent, we can select the particular solvent system which can be penetrated easily, which can be used extensively for the extraction process to isolate the required solutes inside the crude drugs. Penetration of the solvent is very important here. Suppose we are taking some crude drug. Here we have crude drug in powder form. Powder form is very important here because the particle size should be very less, because as we know, okay, let us see what is the effect of the particle size here. This is the particle size which is in compact. Let us reduce this particle size in small particles. Okay, it will break like this, like this, like this, like this. There will be a number of small particles. Now these particles have been distributed like this. Okay, now when we compare this particular surface area of this particular particle and the surface area in the small particles, it is highly deviated. How the particle size surface area is higher in case of small particles, whereas the surface area in case of large particle will be remain same. Here we have increased this particular surface area, and ultimately it will increase the contact point of the solvent system also, and larger solvent system along with the particles, it tends to penetrate inside this cell system as well as try to dissolve the solute particle inside the solvent system. So particle size here is very necessary. Particles should be very small at the initial stage while we are going to be perform this particular extraction process. After that, penetration. Solvent, when we treated it with solvent, okay, let us suppose we have just placed crude drug as well as solvent system inside a vessel. So what will happen? There will be a phase, an interface, a film will form on the particle size, and solvent system will tend to move inside the cell, okay, inside the cell where solute particles are present. Okay, after that the solvent, suppose solvent system has been moved inside the cell system, their solute is present inside that. Then retention, the solute particles will get dissolved inside the solvent system. Okay, and the solvent system which we have already used is retaining that particular solute inside that. After that, diffusion. Simply we know what is the diffusion process. Okay, Miss Anchal, you know what is the diffusion process. Okay, already we have discussed in the previous class. Diffusion is the process, the movement of the particle from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Suppose here we have some particles in the air. Okay, we have just evacuated some gas or some solute particles, some aerosols inside the air system. It will tend to move throughout the room from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. It is the nature of your solute particles, okay, and the gas particle. It will move toward the lower concentration always. Okay, so diffusion here also working in the mechanism. The solute which is inside the cell system and solvent also went inside the cell system. Then concentration inside the solute inside the cell system is always high. Then according to the diffusion law, it will tend to move from inside to outside system. Okay, now what will happen? There will be a equilibrium phase will occur. How? The concentration of your solute containing your solvent containing your solute inside the cell system is equal to the solvent which is outside your cell system. Equilibrium will happen. There will be a refusal of your movement of solvent system outside the cell. Okay, further process will be get stopped ultimately when diffusion occurs and when equilibrium phase is achieved. After that, mass transfer. This particular mass transfer is the control of extraction process of any extraction process. We confirm at the last that the extraction process has been occurred or not. So in the next slide we are discussing about this mass transfer. Mass transfer. Okay, so this is the controlled, this is the check. Okay, or this control the process of extraction, as it is the smallest unit operation which involves the transfer of mass from soluble material, okay, to the soluble material from the solid material, which we have been taken inert, okay, inert solid material to soluble material. So it was very necessary to understand this mechanism while we are talking about the particular extraction process. So in the next slide, let us proceed with this type of extracts. Our next topic is the types of the extract. So while we are talking about the extraction, it is very necessary to understand what type of extracts are there, and because we are dealing with this type of extract, there are some challenges to handle them. There are some technical points which should be understood by the students also. So number first is aqueous extract. As the name indicating aqueous, water content will be there. Okay, water content will be there. We use water as a solvent in this particular aqueous extract, and we can see it is intended, this particular extract, aqueous extract, is intended for the immediate use. Okay, because the solvent system is always water here, and water, the presence of water means microbial contamination, the maximum chances of microbial contamination, and we can't store, we can't preserve that particular system, that particular material for the long term. Okay, so as the water is the solvent system here, so it is intended for the immediate use. Okay, and after the preparation, it is immediately taken by the patient. There are some type of aqueous extract which are decoction, infusion, dilution. Okay, we are going to discuss in the later slides. So let us understand what are the major types of these extracts. After that, liquid extract. Okay, liquid extract, as the name indicating, it is diluted. The amount of solvent system is very high in case of liquid extract, and according to USP, United States Pharmacopoeia, it defined fluid extracts is also known as liquid extract. Okay, there is another name of liquid extract which is defined already in the USP, United States of Pharmacopoeia, which is known as fluid extract. It is a liquid preparation of crude drug which contain ethyl alcohol. Here we are not talking about water. We are taking solvent system ethyl alcohol. Okay, now soft extract. As such, because it is prepared as a liquid extract, after that we have concentrated it by heating aid or by another aid, and in the last it converted into CP consistency, means it will be very thick. Okay, in comparison to your liquid extract, and the concentration of the solute inside this particular soft extract will be very high in comparison to liquid extract. Then dry extract. Number next is dry extract. Name itself indicating it is dry. It is in powder form. As such, it is prepared as the liquid extract after the concentration. After concentration concentrating process, it is we have converted into semi-solid form, where the concentration of solute is very high and solvent is very less. After that, anyhow, we evacuate the all solvent system. All solvent system when evacuated, we have only solute system here, and the last result is in powder form. So this is the dry extract which is lacking the solvent system in the final delivery, and liquid extract, it is very diluted, a large amount of solvent system is there. Soft extract is semi-solid consistency, and dry extract is powder form. Okay, in the next slide. Now the type of our extraction process. So now first is decoction. This is the ancient, okay, since time immemorial, since the antiquity, as we know, we are dependent upon the plant system for our food and medicinal needs, and there are some indigenous medicine systems which are totally dependent upon the plant system for the for the medication and for the preparation of drugs, or for the delivery of the which intended for the medicinal use. So since ancient time it is used. Decoction is a very simple process, and it is very popular also. In this particular type of extraction, what we use, simply we take the crude. So it is most popular and the ancient system of extraction. It is intended for the substances which are heat stable as well as which are water soluble. There are two things: water soluble. If the solute system is water soluble, we definitely go for the solvent system which is water, as well as heat stable, because here we are treating the crude drug along with the water as a solvent with higher temperature and for the minimum time. Although we are treating the temperature for the minimal time for the 15 minutes, but high temperature is very necessary here. Simple tea is the example of this particular decoction. So the boiled crude drugs, water mixture is then cooled in the last step when we when we collect the extract system, then we cool it and add some fresh solvent system to make up the final volume which is required. Let us suppose I am requiring 100 ml of decoction. Then suppose 500 ml I have produced. In my first attempt I have produced 500 ml. Then in last attempt, when I have collected the extract system, I have to add the 500 ml fresh solvent system, means fresh water, to make up the volume up to 1000 ml. So this is all about the decoction. Infusion. This is a periodic maceration. Although maceration is a process of extraction, we are coming on that in later slides. But here we are talking about the periodic maceration. We are doing a periodic extraction. Suppose simply we are taking crude drugs and treating it with either cold or hot water, and there is no need for the boiling or to provide the continuous heating or a high temperature. So simply we have to take the solvent system and treat it with the crude drug which is taken for the extraction process. And the last, we have to collect the extract, and after that we have to add some water for the final volume makeup, as we have done in the decoction process. So this is a simply periodic maceration. Then digestion. This is used for the drugs which are quite hard or woody in the nature. So this is also a maceration, but here we are treating crude drug with the moderate heating. Okay, from the initial, when we treat drug along with the solvent system, we here provide some moderate temperature for the long time. What will happen? The hard drug, okay, we have taken the hard drug, the woody matter, which is as such which is very complex, and to extract out the solvent system to solute is very difficult as such. So we here taking this particular digestion process of the extraction. Long term heating, a moderate heating for the long time is generally softening the woody matter. Okay, the digestion of the drug. Here we achieve the digestion of the drug, means drug will converted into the soft woody material, which will enhance the penetration of the solvent system as well as the diffusion. These two things are very important while we are talking about the extraction, and this particular digestion enhancing the penetration as well as the diffusion. So in the last we also collecting the extract, and for the volume makeup we have to add some water for the volume makeup. So it is very suitable for the material which is stable. If we provide some moderately elevated temperature, it should be very stable. There should not be any disintegration in the structure, and there should not be any degradation in the constituent present inside the crude drugs. So this is the digestion. Next is tinctures. Okay, tincture is anyhow taking the proportion of the alcohol also. Okay, here we have taken hydroalcoholic solution. Hydroalcoholic solution. So as we know, infusion, decoction and digestion was applicable only for the organic matters, but this particular process, tinctures, is applicable for both organic as well as inorganic sources. Okay, we have to be prepared. If suppose we have to be prepared on the extract from the inorganic sources, then this infusion, digestion and decoction was not a suitable process for the extraction. So in tinctures, it is the process which is applicable for both organic as well as inorganic substances. Here the final extract will always contain 10 to 20 gram of active drug in per 100 ml of tinctures. The method used for the preparation is also the maceration and percolation. These are the conventional method of the preparation. So this particular method was used for the both organic as well as for inorganic substances. The crude drug, the tinctures always contain the active solute, which is 10 to 20 gram of the drug in 100 ml of your tincture. The process here used are simple maceration and percolation. We will discuss in the latest slide also. Example is here like iodine, which is from the inorganic source. Iodine is not natural, it is inorganic source. So the iodine tincture is also prepared with this particular extraction method, as well as the sweet orange peel tincture is which is organic in nature and also prepared by this particular process. In next slide, here we are going to discuss about some conventional method and the modern method of the extractions. Here I have taken only two methods which are conventional and very popular as such, whereas in modern methods I have included reflux extraction, pressurized liquid extraction, Soxhlet extraction, which is a continuous heating process, supercritical fluid chromator, which is very important and extensively performed nowadays, ultrasound assisted extraction. Here we assist with the ultrasound for the enhancement in the extraction, for the penetration of the fluid and for the diffusion of the solute or active particles. After that, microwave assisted extraction. We know microwave is present in every home nowadays, and the process is the penetration of microwave in the food compartments, and vibrational energy will produce, and ultimately food get heated. So this is also a extraction process, microwave assisted extraction. After that, pulsed electric field extraction, which is also a very new technique and also very useful. After that, enzyme assisted extraction. Enzyme, we already know the enzyme acts as the catalyst and always enhances the process, enhance the chemical reaction for the final step without getting involving inside the reaction. After that, hydrodistillation and steam distillation. These particular extraction methods are applicable for only volatile oils, and for the non-volatile oils these are not applicable. All method are applicable for the non-volatile substances, whereas hydrodistillation and steam distillation is particularly meant for the substances which are volatile in nature. And volatile substances are those which get evaporated at the room temperature itself, without any heat and without any manual interference. Okay, so here let us discuss about the conventional method here. Now first is maceration. Maceration is a simple process. As such, there is no need of the apparatus, no need of the any instrument, no need of the electricity, no need of manpower. Okay, simple. We are taking here the macerator, which is a maceration bottle. Okay, we can also take some bottles. So let us finish for this class. We will discuss in the next class, and after that we will come to know that what are the different extraction processes. Till that, you have to learn this. You can remember, you can ask me any query. If you got any query, please call me, please contact me 24/7. I am available for you people. Till now this is sufficient for you people. Let us meet in the next class. Thank you.